Hi team, we're here at Club Palentia in Mallorca, out supporting a number of our athletes who are racing Ironman Mallorca today. Our hotel's right here on the bike course, so I figured while we're waiting for them to come round, we quickly look at a key component of recovery. Now lots of us will have experienced, whether we're off the back of a marathon or a triathlon or something like that, a bit of soreness the next day. And a lot of us also know that, well, I've heard at least, that getting in the pool and going for a pool recovery session is a great way to start to alleviate some of that soreness. The problem is, as I hear again and again, that while people know that pool recovery sessions are great, they don't always know what they should be doing. So I wanted to go through a quick little routine, going through a number of key exercises, and it's a handful of exercises. There are so many we could choose, but a number of key exercises that you can use at your local pool the day after a race just to help alleviate some of that soreness. Pool recovery sessions are great, particularly because it allows us to get the body moving in a weightless environment. Yes, you can talk about the hydrostatic pressure and the way in which that might help some of that flushing out of the waste products, etc. But particularly from my point of view, we're getting the ability to allow your body to move in a weightless environment, which is easy on the joints, easy on the muscles. Okay, so we'll go through a few key exercises that you can try out. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so I often suggest people do this almost as a kind of, I suppose, a way of talking about it. It's like an interval set, but it's not really an interval set. We do an exercise, followed by swim, followed by exercise, followed by swim. And the swim, if you're in a 25-metre pool, you can just do it out and back, any stroke you want, mix it up. I'm going to be talking equally to runners here as much triathletes, so if you're not a big swimmer, don't worry, just another great way of getting your body moving. I'm not talking too much about swimming within this video, it's not really my remit. Those who know me will understand that. I want to start out with walking. So we've got in the pool, and we're just going to begin very, very simply with the water. It's a bit deep really, this pool, for this. We're going to go somewhere between belly button height and chest height. And what I want to do very simply is just for 2 minutes, just walk up and down the pool, very deliberately, slowly, but just to start to warm things up. We're going to walk, you're talking in widths of the pool perhaps, you could walk one width out, one width back. Anywhere between a minute and 2 minutes, and then you're out. Swim the length, swim back. You choose the stroke, it doesn't matter. From there, again, this kind of depth isn't too bad for running on the spot. So you can just run on the spot, again, between a minute and 2 minutes. Just so you're nicely in your depth still, so we're not running out of your depth. We're still feeling your feet on the floor, but it should feel so, so light. Still focusing on good running biomechanics, so still focusing on all the right things in terms of posture, in terms of keeping the arms moving under the water here, keeping the legs moving, and that nice, compact, straight up and down. But the thing we're not getting is the impact. Okay, so we're not feeling it on the joints. Shouldn't be sore. We can then look at a few key mobility exercises. Okay, so we're going to start out very simply with the quad stretch. Hopefully you can see this underwater. It's the same quad stretch we go for on the land. Okay, so from here, pulling your heel up towards your butt, you feel the water supporting you nicely. So balance shouldn't be too much of the issue. We've also got this other hand to balance yourself with. Just going to hold that between 30 seconds to a minute on one side. Squeeze your butt, push your hips forwards. Feel that stretch right down the front of the thigh. And then we'll do the same on the other side. And again, holding that 30 seconds to a minute. Squeeze your butt, push your hips forwards. Balancing with this hand, but the water's supporting you nicely. Do that left, right, go for a swim, length, out and back. We can repeat that a couple of times, and then we can move on into a hamstring stretch. So from there, again, upright in the pool, nice and tall, the water's supporting you, hand behind your knee, interlacing the fingers behind your knee joint. From there, simply out and back, out and back. So a little bit more active with this stretch. Gently feeling that as you extend that leg out, we're getting that nice stretch through those hamstrings. Do a set of 10 of those on the right, set of 10 of those on the left, out for a swim and back. You can do that twice over. Then we can turn that into knee pulls. So from there, nice and tall, knee up to your chest. You can see that from side on. Again, stay nice and tall, knee up to your chest. Just going to hold that for a few seconds, and then on to the next. A few seconds, on to the next. We're going to rotate through now, left and right, alternating. We're going to go for 2 minutes. Then from there, after that 2 minutes, you guessed it, going for a swim, out and back. It's all easy, this swimming. It's all very, very comfortable. If you're not much of a swimmer, then we just turn that into as much or as little as you want just to get moving, just to break it up. From there, we can add a bit more movement in. So we can do some lateral walks. Okay, so left to begin with, or right, it doesn't matter. We're going to do both. Stepping it out, and then stepping it back out the other way. Okay, I'm using my arms for balance here. Simply reaching out with my leg and following through with the other leg. Really starts to get me moving around my hips, particularly starting to wake areas like glute med up. Sometimes a little bit stiff, a little bit sore in the morning after a race. Particularly if it's been an off-road race where you've had to constantly be adjusting around the hips, you might well feel quite sore around there. Okay, again we go for anywhere between a minute and 2 minutes of these. So if you're doing a minute, you go 30 seconds one way, 30 seconds the other. Equally 2 minutes, you got it, it's a minute, depending on the space you have available to you. And then we're a swim out and back. From there we get even more dynamic. Again, Holly, a little bit closer here. One hand on the side of the pool, same sort of depth water-wise. Okay, from here, I'm just swinging this inside leg up and back, up and back. So simple leg swings. This one's reaching up with this front leg. You can feel a bit of a stretch down those hamstrings. As I'm reaching back, it starts to feel it through those hip flexors. Up and back. We go for a set of 20 of these, back and forth. And then we do the same on the other leg. Up and back. Posture stays nice and tall as I do this. I'm not allowing myself to sway around as I'm doing this. I'm looking to keep my upper body absolutely still. Okay, so picture a duck in the water. The upper body's absolutely still, the legs are going manic underneath. That's what we're after. From here we can turn this side on, hands on the wall, one foot supporting, and it's the same swinging concept, but we're going side to side. Just gently working against the resistance of the water, just starting to encourage those hips to start moving again. So commonly such a stiff area the day after a race. The more we can do to get them working, the better. Again, 20 one leg, 20 the other. You can split these up with a swim in between, that's fine. I often go for straight forward and back leg swings, straight into these lateral leg swings, and then go for a swim. To be honest, with this sort of thing, your imagination is your limiter. Okay, so 20 of those. And then from there, I like to finish off. Hands just below the water surface, feet split stance, a little bit width on that for stability, but then we're just rotating around one way and then the other. Keep your head still, or let your head go with the movement. I don't mind which you choose, but you should feel the resistance of the water as your hands are just below the water surface. Try some with the legs the other way around as well. Okay. So again, we're loading, we're winding up one hip more than the other when we're one way round, and then switching that up. You should feel the resistance of the water, but then if you take your hands out, you obviously remove that resistance. You get a bit more freedom of movement. Have a play with that. As I said, we just chose a handful of key exercises, key drills that we could try out and we can experiment with. There are so many, and your imagination really is your limiter. Mix it up, exercise, swim, exercise, swim, keep it all really easy, low intensity. The key here is that we're getting your body moving the day after a race in a low impact environment. The water's taking your weight and we're just allowing movement. At this point, when you're recovering in the early stages, your body wants movement. If you just sit still and stagnate, yeah, we might avoid the pain, but our recovery is going to take longer and longer. This is a great means of just getting moving. Give it a go, see how you get on. Cheers.